Yeah, so tulikuwa tuongelee some couple of stories, one of them being the Avril story. I don't know if you've heard about it, the Avril and the J Blessing story.
I've heard
So,
tidbits.
oh yeah, so I'll give like a little bit of an intro to the guys who haven't heard the story. So ilikuwa jana, by the time we're recording this, Avril posted on her Instagram that she was assaulted by J Blessing.
Did she say like alisema ama it was just a picture that people insinuated that it was the partner who assaulted her?
Yeah, so it was a picture of her like wounded on the face, and then she captioned it saying that J Blessing tusizoeane wewe. So of course people assumed that he's the one who assaulted her, physically assaulted her, and ikaleta a lot of a story. So of course they usually nakuanga after the victims who complain about the assault, kuna kuanga na that fact where they later on defend them. Yeah, so unafilaje about your story as a female?
Personally, I can't say much about it because I've never been in the same situation. I've never been in that shoe. So hawezi try to explain venye kiatu inaumiza mtu yet you haven't worn it. So I have never experienced that, but it's heartening to know that we're still at this day and age, you're still talking about gender-based violence.
Yeah.
I don't know to what extent, what caused it. I don't know much about it, but it's if that's the case, allegedly, if that's what happened, then it's bad. It's bad because mahali tumefika, we should be more civilized than that.
Yeah.
If words cannot communicate, then we don't need to involve fists or violence. Yani even human to human, not even male to woman, male to female, sorry. It's not even yani as
it goes both ways.
Yani ata if it's communication between like a female to female. There's no way that we can. There's no point in life that we should be advocating for violence. If words cannot reach out the message, then move from the situation, ama just walk out from it. But where we involve fists,
inakuwa mbaya sana.
We are tunarudi the old days.
But what pisses me off from that story is the fact that the victims always go back and defend their oppressors. Like it happens multiple times. Sijui kama nakumbuka the story of that other lady. They are directors of a specific company. So the video was trending, like the guy alikuwa na slap the chick. And later on, they were seen together. They posted videos akiwa pamoja.
What?
So it's a continuous cycle, sadly, that women go through. They get physically assaulted. Then they just go back to their oppressors like nothing happened.
You're talking about the video that msichana alikuwa ameketi chini, alafu the guy was standing amwambia enda home, but the girl is like no please, alafu anamchapa makofi.
Yeah, I think there's another jama there just seated there watching it. Yeah.
And you know what hurts me? It's those that are seated there. If you cannot stop the fight, then remove one from the scene. It's not as easy as I'm like saying it, but as in we're human. Ni kama unaona mtu anaenda kuibiwa na wewe tu umekaa. You can't even inform.
But people on Twitter were saying, now the friends of the couple were saying that the reason why that dude didn't do anything is because that was not the first time this has happened. So when you defend, not patanga, these people, when you defend the chick, they both gang up and go against you. So I feel like that's why the guy was just seated there, chilled out, because he has probably seen it happen multiple times, and whenever you try to defend, unapatanga these couples wanakuingilianga sasa wewe, you're the enemy.
Now you start being told that and I try to separate, we are inseparable, and you now become the enemy to the second second person in the So
it's more of Stockholm syndrome, the type of the type of syndrome where, like, Stockholm syndrome is a word to define, like, when people love their oppressors. Even in Money Heist, there was such a thing. That you've seen Money Heist? Damn, you should see it.
I've just watched the first season.
So kuna this woman who works at the mint, or rather the bank yenye ilikuwa attacked, and she falls in love with one of them. So it's a thing, it's Stockholm syndrome. It happens. Most people fall in love with their kidnappers, people who stole from them, people who just hurt them in a way. So, originate from a mind. Like, if someone does something bad to you, then later on comes and do something good to you, like, the mind sort of forgets all that, like, the good they've done, wash away the bad they've done. So I feel like that's what hiyo ndo happening to these people.
The best analogy that I can think of at the moment is the rat analogy. Apparently, I am not sure, but I'm told panya ikikuuma inakuuma ikikupuliza.
Damn, that's the best analogy.
So it bites, maybe you start feeling pain, then it suits you. So maybe anakuchapa, then the sweet words, the money, so anatry to lure you back.
Yeah,
and it's but anyway,
I feel like politicians usually do that also. Yeah, but it's sad that these women let these people go, because what that happens is this Jama will continue on with whatever they're doing, because he just gets away with it. Evil too. So
and
he'll probably end up continuing doing what he's doing already.
And if it happens to you and you leave, the chances of it happening again to another person
are very high.
And maybe the person who is next after you doesn't have that, the resilience. Maybe she's too weak. Utamchapa kofi moja, she's gone. And that in one way or another, that death will be, if it happens.
Yeah.
Inaweza kuwa connected to you at some point, because you never said anything. In any way you condoned it, because you never,
and people actually get killed through the process. Kuna this guy who killed a woman, allegedly killed a woman. Now this woman alikuwa his lover, then left her at the airport, flew back to Kenya. So there are people who are actually dying as a result of that. So I feel bad when I see the oppressors. They keep on defending them each time. And it's bad because the victims are the ones defending them. So it's hard for us to even go there and try to help them or do anything, because they'll just keep on repeating the same cycle.
But if you think about it, who do you think is at fault? The oppressor or the oppressed? Before you even answer that, Tom and Jerry, who do you support? Do you support Tom or do you support Jerry?
Damn, most of the time it's Jerry.
Now, put it into the context of the oppressed and the oppressor. Who do you think is at fault? Is it the oppressor or the oppressed?
I think it's the oppressor.
So you'd say Tom has always been the one in the wrong?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it goes both ways. But we're just speaking because we have nothing to we can never understand.
We can never relate to whatever
they're going through. But if you think about it, it's hand in hand.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, because if the person is but damn, it's always a great, because the one being oppressed can speak out and can maybe go to the police, do something about it. But then anapulizwa, anasahau, anarudi. Naget.
Yeah, naget.
Sasa then using hiyo nini ya panya, anapulizwa, anasahau alikuwa ameumwa, anarudi. It happens again. You go, unaumwa, literally umechapwa tena, so umeumwa,
and the cycle repeats itself.
And it repeats. But there's always a way you can break the cycle. I'm not trying to pin it on.
Which way do you think could break the cycle of such a person? Like, how would the cycle break? Because the person keeps on. One thing, they'll always complain, then they'll always go back to the oppressor. And how do you think the cycle will ever end? Because when the time now, because the moment she spoke out, people are coming out, of course, trying to help. Then the moment she said he wasn't the one who did it, you already have taken back your statement. And there's nothing that the people can do.
But anyway, let's just, I don't know. My heart goes to everyone who is facing the same situation, because we can never relate, and we are not praying that we get to the same place so that we can be able to like relate. But I ni kujijua tu, honestly, because personally, with my background penye nimelelewa, I don't think
you'd ever like settle for such a relation.
Because I'm an outspoken person.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyway.
But then I'd expect such a thing to not happen during the age that we exist in, because like hata tutaongelea about that in the topic that's about to come, but like I didn't expect such a thing to happen in the world that we exist in. The world where like women have never been supported to this extent ever before. Like there's a lot of support on that. There's a lot of humanitarian groups that are just ready with lawyers and everything. You just have to report to them the situation. It won't cost you a penny or anything.
But the downside of it is like for at the moment we can believe for the best story to like relate to the Johnny Depp case. And what was the woman's name? Johnny Depp, and the other one. When it happens to a man, people will not believe, because you think that the man is the one who is supposed to be. You get, now when tables are turned and it's the woman who is assaulting the man, now people are like, how does that, in what world is this happening? And now ndio maana men cannot even, going back again to the mental health about men expressing themselves and nini, because mahali tumefika, watu hapa like, man cannot, so, but anyway, we hope that we're going to get better. We're going to change as a society, and I hope to, and I wish to see the day that there are no oppressors and oppressed. Yani we are. But for a society to be equal at the same time, both parties have to play.
Which now brings us to the topic of today. It was basically about equality and equity. So there's a difference, which people mistake these two words. Oftenly, they usually use it interchangeably, but they are separate words and they stand for different things. So for some cases, I'd agree to go with equity. For some cases, I'd go for equality. So just to explain what this means. So for equality, it means that people have different circumstances and they're given resources and equal chances according to their circumstances. But for equity, everyone is put on a level ground and they're given the same resources regardless of what circumstances they're going through. Become this case where we're talking about this gender-based violence. Because most of the time I feel like it's leaned on the female side rather than the male side. So when it happens to a female, it's all a big deal. So there's that equality factor of it where the women are given more resources and help on that, since it basically happens to them a lot. But for the male counterparts, it's quite less compared to the women that receive such helps. Now, this goes in a lot of sectors, whether be it education, whether be it workplace, how the payment is done. So it's just different according to each situation. And sometimes equality is the best. Sometimes equity is the best. Because I feel like for gender-based violence, kunafaa kukuwe na that gap. Inafaa kuwe met where there's actual equity. Like both are treated equally. Not that one is given a higher priority than the other. Because if a man comes out and says that they are physically assaulted, it will be totally treated differently by the society. Even if you went to the police station, they'll actually treat you differently from how.
Start to make jokes about it.
Yeah, they'll make fun of you. Yeah. But for the females, itakuwa an entire story that,
Yeah. You can even you can also try, same to the Johnny Depp story.
Yeah.
I don't know to what extent you know about the case, but there's somewhere that Johnny Depp, there was an audio that he used as part of his evidence where the woman was saying, so Johnny Depp, you want to go tell the world that a woman can like fight you, and he's like, yes, I'm going to go say, and he's like, in what world are people going? Okay, it's not word to word, but something along those lines. That in what world will a woman will someone
ever believe that
the woman is the one who assaulted you? And he's like, yes. There was something about that audio that the woman is trying to insinuate that there's no way a person will believe that the man is the one who is being assaulted.
Yeah.
And it's very bad, and it's very disheartening because ni vitu zinafanyika. I remember watching a documentary. It's about a woman. Okay, it was a couple. Like, it's a lot of stories they're stringing together, talking about gender-based violence. But now it's the woman who is assaulting the man, and you could find there's like one particular story that happened in Nyeri. It's about a man who it's a couple, a man and a woman. So the man is the one, like in our culture, ukiolewa, you're taken to the man's place, ndio.
Yeah.
It's hard ati upate
the vice versa happens. Yeah.
So the man akaoa, akapeleka the woman back to shamba yake yenye amenunua, akajenga. But then the man in the dynamic of that couple is that the man was earning lesser compared to the woman. And the fact that the woman was earning a lot, she had, I don't know whether she was a businesswoman or something, but it gave her the exposure to, she had a lot of big people in the government, in the Nyeri County. So she knows a lot of people. So as time went by, and now the woman is now the one who is doing developments in the land. Yendi anajenga nyumba, yendi maybe if the land is big, yendi anajenga rentals. So in some way you could say ati shamba ni yake, but in real sense it's the man's shamba, we get.
Yeah.
So the man is trying to take the man. No, it got to a point now where the man is being harassed by the woman. Anachapwa, anafukuzwa, anafukuzwa nyumbani. When the man goes to the hospital, when the man goes to the police, police, they're already in the back pocket of the woman. So
what?
Haiziskizwa. It got to a point the woman alimfukuza. Now the man turned into a drunkard, analala kwa streets. He doesn't have anything kwa sababu nyumba yake amefukuzwa. Nyumba yenye alikuwa amejenga ishabomolewa. The woman has built another house. The woman now is even seeing other people. Now it's like the man is insignificant at this point. The children, obviously, he doesn't have a say.
Yeah.
Because obviously, where are you taking your children to, and you don't even have a home? You don't even have a house.
The woman is usually given for the children, she's usually given the priority.
So you can only imagine, the man is trying to go to the police. He's trying to go to court. He's trying to, any amenda koti, he can't even afford a lawyer.
Yeah.
It's chaos. Alafu now people are not even believing him. Akienda nyumbani to go say what is happening back at home, unakubali aje mwanamke
akufanyia watu.
And it's very hard, it's very bad kwa sababu at this point in life, everyone has, as in we are equal. You get, as in mwanamke na mwanamke, as in we should get that. Haimaanishi at because you were beaten or because you were assaulted, no, that makes you less a person.
Yeah.
No, that's your story, and it's so sad that it's part of your story. But at least mpatie chance, because I know angepatiwa chance, angepewa na the resources, that would have been a different case. If the tables were turned, now imagine if it was a woman going through the same, it would have been like
it would have been different.
Yeah, it would have been different. And you know,
do you feel like feminism has contributed to that? Because, you know, feminism as a cause started quite well because its own ideology was trying to make the woman become empowered. And at that time, it was quite relevant because the woman was not empowered. She was seen less. Now we've come all along, and the movement has now changed to become something different that's more trying to make the woman look better than the man to a point where there's no balance at all. So no matter tunapata, in such cases, the woman is given an upper hand because of all the feminism that exists in the current world. Yes, it's quite a good cause, but the direction to what extent? Then the direction that it's going, it's more of toxic feminism than a human rights side of it. So I feel like the males are usually suppressed during the process of that, and it's quite sad.
But you know, the thing is, it's going both ways. At this point in time, it's both ways. In the fact that atujafika mahali, as in, I'll give an instance of where the man was oppressed. You'll give me an instance of where the woman was oppressed. So it's going both ways, because if we were to talk, as in when it comes to gender equality and equity, because that's the topic,
yeah.
The place that we've gotten to, mahali tumetoka,
it's
tumetoka mbali, because you can only imagine. My mom went to school, yes, but before the generations before hers, the woman never went to school. The thing was, mwanamke anafaa kukaa nyumbani, azae, apate watoto, achunge familia, and that was it. So comparing right now where we are and where we are from, it's been a long journey, but then we are not yet there. We are not yet mahali tunaweza sema this gender equality both ways, whether it's a woman
or a
man, because it's very sad. It's very sad that we are still in the old politics where men are not okay. Using the story of the Meru
governor.
Meru governor. I saw someone commenting on one of the posts in Instagram saying, this is no longer a fight about power. It's a fight about gender. The fact that maybe the MPs are feeling quite a bit of like somehow like because it's a woman who is in power. And maybe she might have been embezzling the money from Meru funds. She might have been, but where is the concrete evidence for you to go outside and start giving stories about she's been sleeping with who and who and who? If tables were turned, trust me, there's no woman who would have gone to the parliament trying to say the man has been sleeping with who and who and who, and she's married. He has a family. That will not have been the same case in the same situation. You get? Now that's why you bring in the story that, is it the fact that she's a woman that now you have to go making crude comments saying about it? Kwanza, I was told that if you are a Meru, if you understand the Meru dialect, the words that were translated
or to whatever the guy said,
the translation that was given in the subtitles is very cautioned.
Okay.
Now, if you translate it from the Meru, like a Meru person listening to it
would hear it differently.
It's a lot, like ikona mauchungu mingi than what we understand from the subtitles. Like imekuwa a bit
suppressed.
Suppressed. The topic has been a bit made equal,
softer.
So you can only imagine what she felt. Even the children listening to such comments. Doesn't matter who you're sleeping with. If you feel like I'm embezzling the money, then bring the hard copies saying that this is what has happened. But don't bring hearsay because of what I've been engaging on my part-time. That's where I'm bringing the issue of equality, because you see, even that one comment that I'm referring to, yeah, them saying it's not about power, now it's about gender.
Yeah.
They have seen it. They have it imejitokeza yenyewe, because if tables were turned, trust me, that will not be the same.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same if tables were turned. Because I feel like any politician who would have been brought to such a position and they actually audited them, they would have found more evidence, because we've seen it done for other politicians. Now, a lot of evidence was found. So for her, for Kawira, there was like a little bit of evidence, but like the case wasn't strong. That's why even the Senate threw away. It was mostly majored on other agendas that weren't about even politics or power. It was just another agenda. And it shows you how the African culture is. So, but we are too far behind to reaching a point where the women will actually, we are so far away from having a female president, so far away from having a lot of women leaders. But of course, kumekuwa na progress for that also. We've seen like the last election, kulikuwa na like a lot of female governors, more senators will increase. Even in the parliament, there were a little bit more women increasing. But still, kuna that gap that's still wide.
Yeah, and it needs to be fair.
And I feel like it's confused because sometimes wanatakanga we forcefully make, because kuna this one that gender rule in our constitution where the parliament must meet the third of any gender. Haifai kuwe so dominated in one gender. In one way, it sounds okay, but in another way, it takes out the democratic side of it, because people want to then elect the leaders they want, not the leaders that, you know, parliament wants it to be. It feels like cooking up parliament when you say that it has to be a third of the gender. So kuna kuanga all that controversy and you go around, and yeah.
Okay, I'd see why you'd maybe come to that conclusion, but we have a lot. That's what I'd say. We have a lot to like fill in all those holes.
Yeah,
because we can do better.
We can do better. Actually do better
but
than
mahali, we cannot discredit the fact that tumetoka mbali, and so far we are getting to a point mahali we are going to have, even with Rikuni, maybe just if we said that equity is about resources.
Yeah.
Makampuni za nguo wanafaa kuanza kuinclude mifuko kwa nguo za wasichana.
Why?
Do you know how many dresses you get that have pockets?
You've never like there's not a lot of dresses with pockets.
Yeah, exactly. So
won't they look weird with pockets?
No, but let me tell you the number of times I'd buy a dress just because it has pockets.
For real?
Yeah.
What's the pocket for?
What's your pocket for?
I feel like for women, they can always carry a purse or something.
But you're carrying the purse because we don't have any other alternative.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so on that term, equity. If you want to talk about resources, mtuongeze.
But you guys can as well wear trousers.
Let me tell you something. I have a trouser that has a pocket. But iyo mfuko hata haiwezi toshea coins. Iko hapo tu for nini? For the show.
For the show.
Yeah.
Because for zetus they usually make sure the pockets are deep.
Yeah, deep. Have you heard about the Keke Palmer story?
Keke Palmer, yeah. Tell me about it. See, just curious story. I know you told me to look at it, but yeah.
Yeah, because the first thing it started with, it goes a while back, maybe like 2 months or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Ilianza na the fact that Keke Palmer is an actor. So Kiki. Keke Palmer, Ali went to a concert. I don't remember whose concert it was. I don't know, Asha. She went to Asha concert.
I think I've heard about it now that you've mentioned Asha.
So, and now they must have been like friends, or they know each other. So when Asha was like, before he said hi to Kiki Palmer, and during the show, the way people like all nighter, someone to the stage, and maybe you like dance, street dance, whatever. And the thing that it started with the fact that Kiki Palmer's outfit. So the man was like the husband now, which I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think it's the husband.
Darius. I don't know. I'm not sure about the name of the husband, but the issue started about the dressing, what she wore. Then it extended to the part where the Asha alimuita kwa stage na aka dance. You understand?
I saw the videos.
Yeah. So it started with that. Alafu, the man went out to comment on Twitter saying that for her to be along the lines, I'm not sure about the words, but along the lines of like, you're a mother and a mother shouldn't dress, don't know, blah, blah, blah. And people were like, okay, but that, like, the way I dress doesn't define me, whether I'm a mother or not. It doesn't define me.
Do you feel like that actually logically makes sense? Because unapata like stereotypes in a normal world, stereotypes exist. So kuna hongana stereotypes based on even in men, like how they dress. Ukipata a man with locks, there'll be a stereotype he's a thief. And also for women, kuna a lot of stereotypes on the same, for tattoos, for piercings. So stereotypes is a thing that we humans have. And it's sad because nilikuwa nasikiza this podcast, they were talking about how kitambo it was quite important for us to judge people at the first view we had of them. Because remember the old times, ilikuwa you meet with an animal or a person you don't know, then you look at how the way they look like. If they look aggressive, your mind will quickly tell that they want to attack you. So it's a thing that has been instilled in us, and yes, it does exist. Stereotypes exist, and people will always view you as the way you are dressed, the way you present yourself, the way you talk. It's just easy for someone to do that, and they do exist. So people usually defend it that I am not who I dress like, or I'm not who I look like. But when you get in touch with reality, you'll know that people will actually judge you based on how you look. I'm not trying to be all judgy and all in terms of dressing, but sadly, the world we exist in, people will always judge you. They'll always expect a nun to have that whatever on. They'll expect a priest to have his wear dressing on. They'll expect a Muslim woman to have her hijab on. So kuna these expectations that we already have, and it's hard to change how people view them. So if you are a person who wouldn't mind how people will view you, it's okay. But if you're a person who would mind being viewed in a specific way by people, because you can't take that away. I'm sure you've stereotyped people before in your life. If you meet someone in town, the way they're dressed, and they start talking to you, your mind will quickly stereotype them, either trying to steal from you. It's a thing that's instilled in us. So if you're going to go ahead and dress in a way that would sound, that would look inappropriate or to some people, then you shouldn't be afraid of what they'll think of you. If you're okay with that, then it's fine. But if you are not okay with what people will think of you, because you can't control what they'll think of you.
Yeah, the people's view.
Yeah. So if you'd want them to think of you in a better way, it will be more easier for you to dress according to their own set standards. But if you don't feel like it's easy for you to, be comfortable with how they view you, then it's hard for you to actually dress anyhow.
But do you think we'll ever meet everyone's standard? Because you have your own standard, I have my own standard. Everyone has their own. So if you're expected to meet it, if you're expected to meet each and everyone's standard, then you'll be lost. Difficult. Yeah, because you're trying to. No, that's where I'd say maybe you're trying to people please.
People please.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I usually say about dressing is it's important for you to understand the occasion. dress according to the occasion.
But was it wrong for her to dress the way she had dressed, knowing very well that she's going for a concert and she feels comfortable in it? And maybe she wanted to feel even sexier. So for you to even bring it at now you're judging someone's character based on what she's dressed. Yet I want to feel, kila nguo ikona kenye inataka ku.
At some point it's okay. At some point it's not okay. It's okay because she wanted to look all good. That's totally okay. But where the part where it's not okay because she wants these people to accept her as she accepts herself. Because as I've said, people always have stereotypes. So if you're going to look all nice the way you want to, then you have to have the thick skin to not care what the people think.
Is there any situation where we have had maybe stereotyping according to the way a man has dressed?
Yeah, for men, it's usually mostly locks. Men who have locks.
No, I'm talking about dressing.
Dressing.
Yeah, because this is the matter. This is the matter at hand. So we want to derive something that is maybe close or similar.
Yeah.
Locks, it's okay. At this point, so we even have like a lawyer in High Court who has dreads.
But the stereotypes is there. Like, walk with locks at night, the police will arrest you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you know that's now with higher power?
Okay.
So we are talking about, but me, like, interaction here too. We're not even talking about the government. We're not even talking about the police. We're just talking about for Darius Ahmad, the Kike's husband, to bring the issue of you dressing the way she had dressed, going for a concert.
Yeah.
And to add to that, saying that you are a mother.
Okay.
Mothers are not supposed to.
But you have to take it from the start, because I feel like in a relationship, people have to have terms of how they'll operate. Because I'm assuming they came together to that event. Was he okay in the first place seeing his wife dressed that way? Or did it have to take the fact that she trended so that this guy realizes that my wife is not well dressed?
She had to. It started from the tweet. But even before we even go to that concert, the fact that you'd married me, Ama, you had kids with me, knowing very well that this is the way I dress.
Yeah.
So for you to bring up, I'm trying to bring it to the context of gender.
Or the gender equality, okay.
Yani, the fact that you have to stereotype me, because as in dressing, my dress, my choice.
Yeah.
Sawa. And now, because she's a woman, it doesn't have to be brought out. As in,
I'm getting your point.
Yeah, as in the fact that we're trying to equalize that no matter how you dress, that doesn't make you lesser of a mother.
That
doesn't
make you lesser
of a woman. Because that's what he's trying to insinuate. Because if you dress like that, that means...
I feel like the people will always... It's hard to remove that stereotype thing. Because the people will always find a way to stereotypes. And as you've said, it's hard to like please everyone. So if you're going to go that route, then you have to have thick skin and not care what people would think about you. But trying to bring out the entire notion of now people accepting that dressing, it's so hard for that to happen. And it's instilled in us. It's so hard for us to happen. If we put a standard where, because, like dressing ratchet is rather associated with, it's rather associated with the wrong type of women. So the right type of women, the right type of women who do that dressing, and they're not like the others. But now taking away that stereotyping that exists, it's hard for us. It's hard for us. If today, napenda kutumia hiyo hawezi because it's so relatable. If wezi wakidress in a specific way and we start to emulate how they're dressing, itakuwa easier for them to get arrested because they simply look like them. The moment you just look like them, for us human beings, itakuwa tu always stereotypes. It's a thing instilled in us, and we each have our own individual stereotyping ways. Yeah.